couple of small matters to attend before we call the council members up, and I'm also waiting on a couple of them. Scott, that you back there? Scott's here, okay, just Wiley. First thing we'll do is we opened bids for the Country Brook lift station at the last meeting, and both, okay, I probably should do that, shouldn't I? Call the meeting order. Well, roll call, please.
Craig Koshaw.
Here.
Bill Carbach.
Here.
Ken Meyer.
Here. And you were emailed a copy of the minutes from our June 5th meeting. If you had a chance to review those minutes, I'd look for a motion to approve them.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Now, the Country Brook lift station, we opened bids for that at the last meeting, and Jeremy was to take them under review. Jeremy is not here this evening, but I got an email from him. It says, please ask the Board of Works to approve this tonight. He got a note from Darren Good, project manager and project engineer for, help me out, Miller Land Survey. It says, I've reviewed the bid from Fleming Excavating. The math checks out for their bid sheet. The signatures also seem to be in order. The total sum seems reasonable. I would recommend that the board accept this bid. So with that, I would look for a motion to accept the bid for the...
Motion to accept the bid.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. And then the second thing I have that's very short is... Tim, you may have to help me out here. Schedule a public hearing for July 3rd to have discussion and determine whether to recommend to City Council.
Statute requires two public hearings, one by the Board of Works, one by the council.
So obtain two appraisals
Right.
and possibly sell the former Decatur casting property. We don't have a buyer, but before we can even sell it, we have to go through quite the process, and this is part of it. So this is to get the ball rolling. To schedule a public hearing at the Board of Works meeting
On July 3rd.
on July 3rd at our next meeting.
And at that time, you just have a discussion about the possibility of selling the casting site and authorizing getting two appraisals, making that recommendation to council. Then council has to have a public hearing, goes through the same thing, and then they actually adopt a resolution indicating that the property would be sold. And you have to have the average of two appraisals, and then you advertise that you're going to accept bids, and you have to keep it open for at least 60 days. If you get a bid that's equal to the average of the appraised value, you can sell it, or even as low as 90% of that. If you don't get any bids that it's at least 90%, let's say you get one that's 80 or 70%, you can sell it at that reduced price if you're willing to, but you have to have a second public hearing to put the world on notice that basically you're considering selling it for a lesser price.
You confused yet?
Well, what's the reason? Why are we doing that? Is it so we can liquidate, or what?
No. We do have someone that wants to...
There's been a couple of people express interest.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So
I mean, nothing
we want to
firm,
get
but we have to go asking.
So if materializes, we can move.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's just nothing concrete or anything, but yeah.
Okay, so what do you need, a motion?
Yep.
I'll make a motion.
Motion to schedule a public hearing on July 3rd. Bill, second?
Second,
Okay,
yeah.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, the same, thank you. With that, without Wiley being here, other council members, if you can come forward.
Must be getting ready to storm. We got dark.
Yeah. I'm glad we're here.
Me too.
Actually, I can bring Lenny up next. Lenny, you want
Your
to...
chair.
This will only take a second, but go ahead. Come on up, Len.
I'll trade the chair before Riley gets here. Trade me chair real quick. It's kind of one of my pitches to get around. That way Riley won't ever see my business.
I gave some to the council. Okay.
I'll give you a minute to read
Yeah.
this. I can explain.
This is in reference to a position open with the Decatur Police Department. At our last meeting, we accepted the resignation of one of our 3 new officers that had only been on the job for a month or so, a couple months. And with that, Lenny and Chief Deputy, how do you say it, Mike Mahan, have been working on looking at other options with the other applicants that we already had, and also in the way of lateral movements from other municipalities. So Lenny, go ahead. I think everyone's had a chance to read this.
Okay, with the opening coming up, an individual here approached us. If you look at his qualifications, he'd already attended the academy last year. Has 3 years experience as a reserve and a full-time officer experience of 2 years. He is interested in our future opening here, and if you look at his credentials as far as training, he's very impressive, young man. Me and Deputy Chief Mahan, we talked to him for about 45 minutes last week. Talked to him last night, and he is very much interested. I also reached out to some officers that know this individual. A lot of these officers, you know, Trent Busty, Joel Jackson, Austin Gross, and also Landon Wheeler from the Sheriff's Department. Gave high remarks to this young man, and I guess I'm here to seek permission to go to the next step, is get authorization to take him to PERP, to get the examination to get on PERP. That's the only thing that is holding him back as being a lateral, because his current department, they have their own retirement benefit, not a PERP.
Okay. Comments, questions? Bill, I know you've always favored the laterals. I mean,
Yeah, you got to...
the bigger cities take them from us, so we have to take them from the smaller cities.
It's a good budgetary idea. It's fiduciarily responsible thing to do as Board of Works, so with his recommendation, I would recommend that we do the same.
I've always pointed out to Lenny and Greg,
Give me comments.
if we could get our wages
Policy.
and benefits high enough with the police department that we can get laterals. You know, and I don't mean to be redundant, Lenny, but there's so many cities that actually do not hire recruits and send them to the academy because they hire right from other municipalities, which, you know, Fort Wayne could be classified as one. I know Columbia City and Warsaw are the same way. So yeah, I'm totally in favor of this. I think I'm glad we're getting people that want to come to our department that are laterals.
He was very impressed on our total package that we offer. Unfortunately, when Mike Mahan retires next year, I'm really going to promote our department to seek good applicants on that opening. I got some plans in the works to promote Decatur PD, because we do, believe it or not, you know, we do offer the longevity. Some departments don't. My son, who's on Huntington, we compared. We're still a little bit better than Huntington as far as anything else, but we do offer a really good package, but I think it's not presented enough to these applicants. So I'm really going to try next year to really promote that.
Good point. It is the package itself. So Craig, you made a motion?
Yeah, I make a motion to
Proceed.
proceed with the lateral.
Bill?
A second, yeah.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Lenny, go do your thing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I wouldn't leave right now. It's raining really, really hard.
Wow. I didn't mean leave.
Another free car wash.
Okay. Justin, Dean, and Jenny are here from First Merchants Bank. Justin approached me here a month ago, and we visited a little bit. And he just asked if he could have maybe 10 minutes of time to approach the Board of Works or Council, and like I said, Board of Works, in reference to our banking. So, take it away.
All right, appreciate it. For those of you who I have not had a chance to meet yet, I'm Justin Woodward, the new branch manager for First Merchants Bank here in Decatur. Obviously, Dean and Jenny are well-known faces. So I think I got this job because if I say something to pick somebody off, we can just blame it on being the new guy and they can wash their hands of it. So basically, we are here because of the changes in the banking environment right now. Both kind of specifically First Merchants Bank and then just in general. Deposit rates are increasing at a significant pace. We just repriced a lot of our stuff again today. The Federal Reserve rates are going up. There's an increased appetite for public funds, like so for the cities and hospitals. So that's kind of across the board. And then specifically in the First Merchants world, we have a very robust effort for deposit gathering. And currently, we're just have had some realignment in senior leadership, and we're just very interested in bidding for and going after business. So just to be upfront, I mean, obviously, not holding any cards below the table, we're interested in the city's business, right, from a financial perspective. But at the same time, I know the feeling that we often hear is it is such, switching becomes just a huge pain in the neck, right? So Phyllis is already thinking that. It is. That's the single biggest reason to not switch is because of the difficulty in transition. So what we have found, though, is that if we're able to sit down and have a conversation and get into what are the mechanics, at least for a switch and for a request for proposal or an RFP, at least it allows there to be some discussion and, hey, here's what it would entail if First Merchants or if another financial institution could put a better offer on the table. Here's what it would entail to get us from point A to point B and to benefit from somebody being able to make a better offer. The mechanism for that, and I don't know, some of you are probably very familiar with an RFP. For those of you who are not, that process is normally a sealed bid process. You would take at least 3 bidders, and at least 3 financial institutions would put their best foot forward. The sealed process allows for there to not be, well, we like so-and-so, we like so-and-so, but it allows you guys to benefit from who put the best offer on the table. And it could very well be that it's your current financial institution. Normally they would, of course, be included in, who you take as an RFP. Obviously, we feel like we would make it a good offer. Appreciate very much. Phyllis recently called us on an opportunity for the Hannah Nutman renovation and fundraising project, and we were able to come in with a very competitive bid there and win that business. So we appreciate that very much. I feel like to that end, though, that would speak to the fact we are able to put a pretty good offer on the table at this point in time, and we would love an opportunity to take a run at that as a part of an RFP process. Basically, as you go into an RFP, we really just need, and we can provide other RFPs that, and we would redact the information obviously, but that are prepared for us. A lot of the public fund entities in the area go through this process. So we've been in this process with multiple school districts, with the county, several other public funds institutions. This is the county, I believe, is an every other year occurrence. But however often you choose to do it, it does force the banks to sharpen their pencils and to come to the table with a better offer. And the RFP door swings both ways. We recently lost business, a good piece of business on an RFP. So an RFP really is not just about First Merchants winning, because we don't always win. But who always wins in an RFP is the customer, which in this case would be the taxpayers. You guys will walk away, and you may walk away with the very same financial institution you have now. But the increase in pricing over the last 2 years is just significant. And the services that we feel we offer a great suite of services. We have folks with a lot of experience in the field. We offer a transition team. If we are fortunate enough to win an RFP, we bring people in, dedicate to, so it's not just, well, it's January 1, figure that out, Phyllis, bring it together. So we put people on board and say, hey, we are dedicated to helping you. 3 pieces of information we would really need in an RFP. We would need to know how many accounts you have and the balances that they average. We would need to know, secondly, the transaction levels, so how many payments are processing, all that type of, what the activity level like, and then thirdly, the list of services that you need to be able to offer, the banking services that you need to have to make things happen here. With those 3 pieces of information, that's really what we need to be able to prepare for an RFP. And again, we would be happy to bring you, hey, here's an RFP done, here's what it looks like.
I will be bringing this up for you guys, this is just kind of a general information sheet on the type of account that
I've got one more. That's all right, we can share.
We can share, we're fine. Okay. Thank you.
So, two things I'd like to point out on there. Number one, you will not see rates. And the reason for that is we do individualized pricing. So if we receive an RFP, we will price according to the needs of that client and take a run at what we feel like would be the best fit for them. I've already spoken to Fran Kelly, who's our Director of Public Finance for First Merchants Bank. He's very interested in this opportunity, and he would be on board as a part of our pricing process. The second thing that I would want to point out on there is just that Forbes recently declared us top 5 bank in the United States for financial performance. So I have to toot the horn a little bit and say we're very proud about that. But I understand the value of the local relationship. We're not Decatur Bank and Trust anymore, but we are a local bank, and we're present here in the community. Again, you all know Dean and Jenny and have known Dean and Jenny and the folks in our branch, a lot of our faces I know from coming in and out. So we, again, not saying that we don't know that we'll have the best bid, but we are, I guess, standing on the on-deck circle saying we would at least love an opportunity to take a swing at that. And would be happy to answer any questions you might have, be happy to try to open any doors that might be an obstacle from at least that being a discussion amongst the council.
And that's all there is to this pitch tonight. We're not making any decisions. We're not going to even discuss this evening. I just welcomed him to come make his pitch. Dean and Jenny, if you want to add anything, feel free.
I hate to add to it because I probably would screw up with a really good presentation there. No, he did an excellent job of covering all points. We appreciate the opportunity, Mayor Meyer, to come and meet the council. Just one point to stress in what Justin said, that the real winner in this is the taxpayer of Decatur. That's whether it be because a new financial institution came in and paid a higher rate, or whether it prompted a higher rate out of the existing relationship. Ultimately, the taxpayers win. And that's the goal, is ultimately what we're after. So, we appreciate the chance to talk to you.
I appreciate your willingness and aggressiveness to approach us. So, Jenny tried a couple years ago, and didn't quite get there, but you're continuing, right?
We still would love to have your business, or at least the opportunity.
Yeah, okay.
I appreciate the time of all the councilmen.
We will discuss this further at a soon time here, so I appreciate it.
And just so council knows too, I just did this 2 years ago. I didn't do RFPs, but I did get quotes from 3 local banks.
Yeah. So that'd be First Merchants, Bank of Bern, Bank of Geneva. Okay. All right. And we're currently with Bank of Bern. But like he said, we did just open an account. All the Hannah Nutman donations are going. Phyllis called around, just said, hey, we're opening an account for this specific purpose. What's the best interest rate we can get while this is going on? And they came in with the best rate. So with that, thank you for your time. Thanks for coming.
Appreciate it.
Yep. Dan? Couple of things.
I don't think they want to leave right now.
Is it really coming down?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Hang on, where'd you guys park?
Yeah.
Where'd you park out back?
Dean,
Go out
Wow,
right
this
here.
door.
Dean, you
Hey,
can
Kevin,
go.
will you show them where it goes?
Oh, we can figure that out. It'll still even a
Yeah.
10-yard dash in this, you're going to get a good...
Might as well just wait it out a little bit.
No, just go out this door,
Yeah, go right out this
Jenny,
door right here.
and then right down the hallway.
Phyllis and I met with John Kentz.
Wiley said waiting on the rain to slow down in the
Okay.
parking lot.
Tell him that's no excuse.
He's going
He works for the taxpayers.
Don, will you let Wiley in when rain stuff slows down? Thanks, Willie.
over the sidewalk.
Are you kidding me?
They said it was coming down at 3 inches an hour.
Holy cow.
3 inches
Here we go, with the flood.
Yeah, last time I presented 2 years ago, I came from filling sandbags. Remember how grody I was?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 2 years ago for the meeting at least.
an hour. Maybe you should be coming.
I know.
Thanks for coming, Dan. Phyllis and I met with John Kent's, what's it been, a week and a half ago, something like that. And John's on a motorcycle ride to West Virginia, I think, with some buddies, so he asked Dan to sit in for him tonight. As you can see on the first page, and I'll let you take it away, because you'll explain it much better than me.
Yeah, it's just showing the monthly premiums here since 2010. Now that reflects, the up and down of employees, coverage changes and so forth. So 2010 was 66.7, 11 76.7, 12 69.1. 2013 was 73,252, and then 2014 it was 75,624. But that's when the refund agreement was added.
Explain that for everybody that
What
may
it
not know.
is that in the good claims history year, we negotiated a refund agreement. It was kind of unique with PHP and Adams Memorial Hospital. And we got that negotiated in 2014, and through the years it's worked out pretty good.
Yes, it has.
Now this year maybe not, but that first year of the refund agreement there was received in 16 from 14-15 year, and that refund was $125,285. And the next year the refund was very similar, $124,313, and the 17 premium was $79,000 due to probably just a couple employees less on the payroll at that time. And then 2016-17 premium, or the refund was $85,000, and the 2018 premium was $86,970. Part of that is the employees are up a little bit than probably what they have been. But if you look on the next page, this is the most important part. In 2014-15, your loss ratio was 69%, and that called for a 5% increase. Now, PHP always comes to John and says, hey, this is what we should do, this is what we're going to do, and that's about a 3-week process of getting it down. 16-17, it was a 75% loss ratio. Renewal was a 5% increase. The last 2 years were very good at 63 and 59, and they had no increase. And to think about no increase through those years where Obamacare and Affordable Act came into play, that's unbelievable. Mm-hmm. On the individual market, I used to have families on $350 a month for $3,000 deductible. Now it's $1,300 for $7,000. So it's totally changed health insurance. And this year, 2018-2019, it's the worst year since we've been with PHP, and it's 84% loss ratio. And that refund agreement as of through March is looking like $12,642, but that could change. And they were calling for they said we should have did, the numbers are in the back, but they were coming back at 7 or 8, and John got them down to 5% increase. So on the third page there, it kind of shows what the claims were. There was a couple big ones and some ongoing. So when John went to shop this out with other companies, nobody was really interested. They didn't want to be too aggressive because of some of these claims and some of the ongoing claims. He talked with the provider, the self-funding provider for City of Fort Wayne. They looked at the numbers and said, yeah, now's not the time to do the self-funding. It's just not the time with some of these claims and what's ongoing. So, there was a transplant and some cardiac, and everybody's still on there, but number 12, that person or that family member is no longer on the plan. So, I mean, John went over with Kenny and Phyllis some of the cost-saving options. I don't know if you want me to go over those, Kenny, but the one option was reducing the HSA contribution. Currently, it would be to increase the employee deductible from $250 to $500 per person. All the savings of the cost is spread out over all individuals using a plan, and the average per year, about 30 of those deductibles are met. So 30 times the 250 would save the city about $7,500, or and plus the partially met deductibles, the ones that aren't met fully. So that would come to about $8,000 to $10,000, which only save about 1%. But all that is passed on to the employees in their deductibles. The next was to increase the co-insurance, and the co-insurance and change the current maximum out of pocket to from $3,000 to $5,000. That would save the city about $34,000. About 20 individuals hit that maximum every year on the plan. So that $34,000 to the city would actually cost the employees $40,000. So the third option was to increase the deductible by $500 per individual and the maximum out of pocket by $1,000. And again, with using those numbers, the savings to the city would be about $39,000. But on an average year, the cost to the employees would be about $25,000. For number 4 was to increase the employee cost share and keep all the benefits the same. And all that, Ken and Phyllis talked about that conversation because I wasn't in that. And then the back pages are just kind of the history for the, like Scott's, I know you're relatively new, and Craig, just kind of the history of what we've had with PHP and what's been going on through the years.
Phyllis, did you make copies of the, okay.
Oh, no, I didn't. I'm sorry. I did forget,
Well,
but they can't find.
And I have mine here too, that if I can find it. Hey, right here. You pass yours that way, I'll pass mine this way.
So if we do no changes, it's a 5% increase.
Yep, if we do no changes, there's a 5% increase to the city.
You guys will have to look at this and pass it down, but proposed with no changes or proposed with changes. And then, right now, the employee pays $8 biweekly out of the paycheck
For a
single plan. 7% of the premium for employee spouse, 8% from employee and children, and 10% from employee family. So if we didn't change anything, I mean, we could keep it the same, that percentage. Or we can add a little bit to the employee. Instead of $10 biweekly, it'd be $2 biweekly, or $42, or to go from $8 to $10, and then add $3 on the employee spouse, $6 employee children, and $9 on the family. And the employee, after we calculated, if we do proceed with a 3% increase, even if we added this to their insurance, they'd still have a raise. So,
Yeah.
But for several years, we did a 2 or 3% raise, but then raised their, going back though, then we raised their health insurance, so they essentially had no
raise.
basically a wash.
And that's what I wanted to not be in that situation, so Phyllis and Wendy worked up the scenario here to where we would kind of cost share that. We would absorb the biggest chunk of it, and the employee would take on a little bit of it.
and we can still adjust these percentages if you prefer, but this is the total premium. If we increase it, and this will be, I think it saves us like $10,000 if the employee paid extra.
So I think, Phyllis and I have talked, we've even included Tim in our discussion. We're more inclined to not pass all of this on to the employee, but rather to add the percentages shown there, increasing the individual or the family plan. That, keep in mind, that's bi-weekly, so it's only half of that per week. A family plan goes up, what is it, $9 every other week? That's $4.50 more for your insurance each week for a complete family. So we think that's pretty doggone good.
That is good, and the plan you have is very, very good.
Very good.
You're not going to lose any employees because of your health insurance.
Nope. And they're not going to complain that, well, they gave us a 3% raise and they're taking it right back away from us. A person making roughly 19 bucks an hour on an 80-hour work week, Phyllis and Wendy calculated it out here. And after the increase, what we're going to increase is the $9 biweekly. He's still going to make about $36 more than he is last year with the 3% raise. I mean, he would have made $46, but we're going to cut it down to 36. And so I think it's kind of at least my recommendation. It's up to council ultimately. But we need to let Dan and John know what we want to do moving forward so that they can wrap this up with PHP. And I would prefer us just pass part of it on to the employees with the percentages that Phyllis and Wendy came up with.
Which one are you recommending? Top?
That's all of those, okay? If you're an individual and you're not married,
Yeah.
Oh,
you're...
he doesn't have the second sheet.
Oh, right here.
Without any
Yeah,
change.
yeah.
One's
Okay.
without any change,
Yeah.
and the other one is by increasing the percentage.
So currently, Dan, am I correct that it's Anthem or PHP? Those are only options in the state?
No, there's still others doing group insurance. As far as individual insurance, there's just Ambetter and CareSource. But on a group plan, there's
We
still
understand.
options.
Okay, give it here, I'll read it off so that you understand.
Okay. I mean, what, you don't even have it.
Currently, a family, Kevin Hackman's family, Kevin pays $80 bi-weekly for his insurance, okay?
So 160 a month.
160 a month, yeah.
Okay.
40 bucks a week.
Okay.
What we've proposed is that will go up $9 every other week. It'll go up to $89 for
Okay.
a family plan. Or $4.50 a week extra is what it's going to cost him compared to what he's paying now. And it tiers out. If it's a single person that doesn't have any family, theirs is only going to go up $2 every 2 weeks.
Oh.
If it's an employee and a spouse like myself, it's going to go up $3. If it's an employee with children but no spouse, it goes up $6, and then a full-fledged family plan goes up $9.
Okay, I get it now.
Now you get it, yeah.
Yes, thank you. What was these numbers over here, do you know?
That's how many people we have in each
Oh,
category.
each group,
We have
okay.
22 single policies, 18 employee and spouse policies, and so on.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't say that.
It was fine. I just wanted, thanks. I appreciate that. So that seems pretty fair.
Yep.
This money's...
Now, here's the staggering part, is this number right
It's a monthly
here.
premium.
With a 5% increase
And this...
for the minutes, Barb, with a 5% increase in premium and increasing the employee portion, it's still going to make the city's annual premium $1,016,577.92. So for the first time, we've exceeded the $1 million mark for our health insurance for our employees and
Which is
families.
double what we were 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But we're not unique, are we, Dan?
It is.
No.
She runs on
In
average.
fact,
If you look at these increases over the last 5 years, over the last 4, it's only went up 10%, and now this year is another 15%.
15% in 5 years.
I mean, we're seeing some of the groups going up 15% every year.
Yeah.
So
Or even some places 20%.
Can you double check
Yeah.
what we're
So, you know, that's,
per year?
I'm relating that to
Like 82,000.
equity.
Take 82,000.
829.
Oh, that's right. 829. And do what?
Times 12.
So, So you're talking current 8% increase? Is this?
5%.
I mean, we were real
Okay.
close.
Okay, so it's 50 grand.
5%, but we're putting, the proposal is to put a small portion of that back on the employee's cost. So it's really
Gotcha.
Take that.
a 4% increase for it, you know.
Minus which one? The, 1,000,043,
If you take what?
640,
I see. You negotiated
49,692.
from their proposal of 8.
Yeah. It's an increase of basically $50,000 to the city to cover all of our employees with exceptional coverage.
Okay.
If we raise,
If we go with the,
well, that's if we go with raising it, or that's less.
They're not going to reduce the 5%.
I understand
It's
that.
set at that, but if we,
Cost share with
It
the
would only be
employees.
$40,000.
right,
Saying that.
right, by making employee paid
And-
We'd be
10%.
saving 10,000.
And no changes to the plan. Or
And
the
then we can adjust that.
HRA contribution. Everything remaining the same.
and I would hate to change the policy,
Yeah,
like
no-
Dan was
no-
giving the scenarios, to where, you know, the HRA changes or the out-of-pocket changes, you know, then those employees who do have significant claims, they pay the brunt of it, so.
So you're looking for Board of Works to make a
Is this-
recommendation
this
to
is really a
council?
decision, right? Okay. I just didn't want to, rather than have all this done at the council meeting, I said have it come to the Board of Works meeting, make the presentation. We'll address it at the council meeting this evening and go from there.
And
Okay, please.
is there a deadline? I mean,
As to
are they
when-
wanting to go ahead?
Open enrollment, July 1st, right?
Yeah, the thing is if you're making no changes to the plan or the HRA, we don't need to do anything on that. If you're making changes to what the employee contributes,
That's
that has
really
no-
up to us.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with PHP.
Right. So you just really need to answer whether we want to change benefits or not.
Correct.
Any other questions for Dan? Thank you, Dan. Thank John. Thank PHP for the great coverage they've been giving us.
He did all the work, and if he was here, that would have been about 20 minutes longer.
Yeah, oh, he would have told us, Phyllis and I got the long version where I negotiated with him, and I told him, no, that's not going to work.
Thank you, Dan.
Okay, don't let me forget to put that on the city council agenda. Okay, that's that.
10 years ago.
Kevin, somebody want to call Kevin in? He's out there, I think.
And now it's $1 million.
What's it doing out there, Lenny?
Yeah, what's
Still going crazy, or?
Yeah, it's flooding Two Brothers right now.
We got manhole lids blowing everywhere too. I got guys on it. You know, do 3-4 inches of rain in 15 minutes. You can't do much about it.
And it's still coming down?
It's blowing down, but
Yeah. For the Kokosing contract for the clarifier. Take it away.
Okay. Phyllis has a good...
Phyllis has the contract. Phyllis, go ahead.
We had to work out a few details, but I think we got it ironed out. Ready for Board of Works signature. That way we can move forward with ordering the rest of the equipment, scheduling construction.
This is a Board of Works thing, okay? This is for the Kokosing, or however you say it, Kokosing, for the clarifier out at the waste treatment plant. We've been holding off on this because of getting Tim and Tina, the lady from Kokosing, together to just clarify a few points in this. And that's finally been
We gotta
done,
finish
and
bills,
we need
don't
to
we?
act on it and okay the contract.
Yeah, we're allowed
Tim's reviewed it and it's good to go, right, Tim?
Yeah, I assume all the changes we discussed have been made.
I went through them. Those are the changes made.
Yep.
So with
You happy?
that,
Okay. Make a motion to accept the contract for Kokosing and get the work going.
Bill,
Second.
a motion and a second to approve the Kokosing contract. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, where do I sign, Phyllis?
It's out here. It's
I
on
saw
the
that
back.
too.
I know, but it's on the back side.
The
So
back
you might have
side.
to open it.
And is it just one place here?
On the other side.
And I'm the owner?
We'll have to, do you have your notary thing with you or not? No.
Do you have a,
I can stamp them later. If Kevin, you don't need it till tomorrow, do you? No, that's tomorrow. Okay.
I probably kind of screwed this up already. Looks like I'm supposed to put City of Decatur on this line, and then my name.
Yeah.
You want to,
Well, that's the city, so that's
Okay.
fine.
Okay.
So that's fine.
give me another one, I'll do it the right way. By City of Decatur.
You just gave me two, which was his and ours. Do you want your sign now? We can wait. You want to get it?
There's that one.
I can just make it a copy of that page, too. They don't even need that one for the work on there, huh? Well, that's a first.
Okay,
We'll get it notarized for you.
I'm done. You got some things
That was easy.
that I didn't make, that I didn't cover?
Did Bill Carbine, you did second it, right?
Yeah.
that's all I have.
That's all you had to? Okay.
I have one thing, if council can get back.
Well, they're not gonna, well, they're doing claims.
Oh,
Well, yeah, I
do you
think,
want me to mention this or no? I email that to all the council members. Do I need?
You mentioned it to the council, if you want to make it a matter of record, I think it might be worthy.
Okay.
Yeah, Phyllis emailed this to all the council members that Adams Memorial Hospital, in their refinancing of their bonds, they've been returning money distributed to them from the CEDAT funds back to the taxing units. And the city received $113,700, and Phyllis spoke with the auditor's office and was informed that the taxing units are to receive this amount again in 2018, but wasn't sure when the funds would be distributed. So, that's great. And I asked Phyllis, I said, what have we done with that money? And your reply was that
It's just sitting in the CEDAT fund. If we want to spend it, we'll need to appropriate it, but we can budget for it if you want to spend that money next year.
okay. So, good to know, though.
I think this is a Board of Works function, but I don't know if council needs to, I'm recommending that we, on 9th Street from Monroe Street to Nutman, on the east side of the street, put no parking at any time,
Like we did on
like we
11th.
did on 11th Street. On 11th Street, we went from Jackson to Nutman on the east side. And the reason I'm asking that, or recommending that, is we're having a lot of concerns when you come through there with city plows and fire trucks, and it really makes a narrow street. I went out there and kind of drove up and down and wondered why we didn't want to go farther south with it, like maybe to Adams. And believe it or not, 9th Street from Adams to Monroe is about 3 foot wider than once you go on the other side of Monroe. That street is...
And I think it feels wider. I mean, you can
Right.
feel it when you're traveling it. There's more passing room there. There
Yeah.
definitely is.
So I don't know. I'd like to see us do that. I don't know, Tim, you'll have to kind of walk us through that.
It'll be by an ordinance.
Yeah, and why don't, in the
So it's no
meantime,
parking, I'm sorry, no parking from where to where?
Monroe
You
to
can
Nutman.
you can have that, it'll help you. Yeah, from
Monroe to
Monroe to Nutman on the east side.
And do the people living on the east side have alley access behind them?
Alleys and parking behind their homes, and in fact, it's both sides. They have alleys and parking. But,
Then why did you select the east side? I mean, I'm just curious. Just
Uh,
at random?
just duplicating 11th.
Okay. I'm gonna suggest that we have Jeremy look into this as well. He's not here tonight.
Jeremy, I already talked to him.
Okay.
Jeremy asked me to present it.
Okay.
He was going to present it, but
But maybe to look in a little more in depth and see if one side makes more sense than the other. Are there more homes on one
We
side of
can
the
do that.
street? You know, I know from Monroe to Nutman, it's not that far. It's only like 3 blocks, isn't it? And I don't think there's any businesses in there that take up more spaces. It's probably very similar in the amount of residences.
yeah, that's 11th, you mean?
Yeah.
So you want to hold off on the...
I think we hold off
Ordinance?
and let the council, each
Why
of the
don't we
council
do
members,
that?
make sure we drive it, check it out. And then let's talk about it again next meeting. I'll put it back on
Copy
here.
of that?
No, you can have that.
Okay, well, I'll go look at it.
Yeah.
And I'll send an email to everybody to get them to go out and do that, okay?
Okay.
9th.
You want to write this down, or are you good?
I got it.
I've just had a request from the city and also the fire department, yeah.
And we'll revisit that on July 3rd. Okay. Actually, I guess we could say that if I have all the council members check it and they're in agreement, could we then go ahead and proceed with the ordinance at the next meeting by way of verbal communication with me, or, I mean, could we
You can bring it up.
Could we say, subject to further review,
It's like the select east or west side.
I guess it's up to,
Well, why don't we
how you
just-
do this, council, you guys can say that council is okay with making it no parking from Monroe to Nutman on 9th Street. Jeremy will recommend whether it's east side or west side, and, I mean, are you trying to get this done by the 3rd or the 9th?
there's no
No,
hurry.
no.
No hurry. Been that way for years, so.
Okay, well, then I would just take a look at it, have Jeremy look at it. The reason I'm saying that is with Jeremy's situation,
Yeah.
you may want to give him a little time.
Yep.
I ran it by Jeremy to start out with before I even presented it tonight. And I said, are you comfortable with me presenting it? He said, yes.
Okay.
That's the only reason I bring it up now. We discussed this probably for a year and looked at it. So I'm just,
Yep, but unfortunately, it's not going to be Jeremy or you that take the heat. It's going to be the 5 guys out there and me. So I'd rather them take a drive down that street, kind of see what they
Understand.
think, and then we'll go from there after they've had a chance to.
Hey, where's
survey.
Tyler go? He gone?
No, he's here somewhere.
The only thing I was going to say was, he had mentioned something about, instead of Adams being a one-way, just going because we shut down the plaza. Remember, he mentioned that a
You're
couple
talking
weeks ago.
between 2nd and
First.
Yes.
He had mentioned that. Tyler, we're talking about, come back up here, will you? We're talking about a street changing of parking on the... I don't think you want to tie that in with this, though, do you?
No.
Because this is a
Two
parking...
different things.
Okay. Did you remember you had mentioned something about Adams Street on the, going two-way now that we shut down Madison completely? Are you still feeling...
I didn't have any idea before they get to, is this for the study, or weren't they supposed to study that?
For the 5 Points project. I would
And they
think
will
they
for the
would've.
5 Points project, but that's still 2020, 2021, 2022. That's
You
the way
got
that-
Jefferson.
It's the only way.
Yeah, well, I mean, what you could do is get a hold of, is it American Structure Point
Yeah.
that's doing it? Get a hold of them and say, council, you know, that you're contemplating possibly turning that into a two-way street again. Does that create any issues with the improvements that they're anticipating at 5 Points? If they say no, well, then there's nothing that would prevent you from doing it sooner than later.
Okay.
Is that cool, Ken?
Yep.
good. So basically, we're just going to check on it now.
Just gonna check on it.
I think it's a great idea. Because I've noticed myself when I'm running down First Street that,
And no offense, if they're putting a roundabout in for safety issues, if you can get into that roundabout and get to where you're going, is a lot safer than going down and turning on
Rug.
Mercer, the rug, and trying to turn off a rug on a Mercer. I've tried it a couple times now, and I get mad at myself every time I make it that far, because it's not very easy.
Yeah, with all the road construction on First Street and the NDOT working out here on the corners, it was last week one day, and I couldn't go this way on First, so I went that way on First. And when I got to Jefferson, there was a pickup, there was a guy directing traffic from NDOT, because he wasn't letting anyone go this way. And there was a pickup truck, and the guy had absolutely no idea where to go. And he was yelling at the flag man. And finally, when he pulled out and looked at his license, he was from Florida. And he literally had, so I mean, the guy made him turn that way. He went a block, and then he wasn't going to be able to, so he was really getting confused. So.
Yeah, I got a friendly wave. I'm sitting at the stoplight, and that guy has me stop, so I'm sitting here waiting and screaming. This lady is laying on her horn behind me. He just kind of peeked around and looked at her. He wasn't happy.
Don, did he text you or what?
Let's go.
Where's Les?
He's blocking manholes that are blowed off down here. Guys are trying to get him back on.
How you doing, Kurt? You look like you just got a shower, did you?
Get Don to wring out my socks for me.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why it hit the street.
We're gonna need to redo the mulch across the street.
Oh, no.
Yeah. It all went down that way.
And it's all over the sidewalk and finally,
Nothing can just ever be normal, you know, it's always got to be not enough or too much.
you can go swimming in the basement.
yeah, basement's got a little bit of water in it.
Our basement.
are we done?
Hope it's on.
I gotta go
Side
get
of the
the
building,
off
not
the
this
basement.
side.
Are we done?
Yeah.
Okay.
Make a motion, or look for a motion to adjourn.
Look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
And Craig seconds?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. We are adjourned.
Thank you. I'm gonna run to the basement.